We've had a lot of nasty cloud cover here. They're putting out ship trails on the ocean coming over into
Ah,
California, and it's been really thick cloud cover of chemicals.
oh, no, I don't. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad. We
They
had some
don't.
clear days for a while, and now it's back to the old nasty stuff.
I've heard a bit about it, with the new friends on Skype, but I have no idea how bad it is over there.
Well, you probably got your own stuff going on. There's fires and stuff down there, isn't there?
Yeah, but we get that quite often, like every year that happens. It's the Australian bush, apparently. Um, but as far as chemtrails, I mean, where I live, we only get them when, they have, I, I, I think they call them cadets coming in. We live out at Shoal Bay, so there's a big army base out there, and that's when they do the chemtrails. Are doing really thick, probably about 3 times a year, and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but nothing like you guys every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So who else is on tonight?
I can see Randy's on. I'm on, and Debbie was trying to connect Henry.
Yeah, I see his picture. Where'd you go?
Skype.
So there's just you, me, and Randy. Well, Randy, why don't you say hello?
I think Randy doesn't have a speaker. I know last
Oh,
time
oh.
we were on a call, he didn't have a speaker, so he listens into the calls. So I can hear.
Can you hear
No,
me? Who's that?
no, I can't hear anything. I can only hear. Sorry, I forgot your name.
Uh-huh. It says Henry is recording the call.
Oh, okay, so we were going to. There was someone from Byron Bay who wanted to join us too, but I don't think. Obviously, maybe they haven't been able to connect. So we're down here in Australia, and we're just, you know, setting up a new group in Australia. So we've got quite a few people who are interested. Um, I know Debbie was trying to call in about 2 minutes before Henry called, so I don't know if Henry's got hold of her. Are you there, Henry? Can you hear us? Must be something wrong with the sound there.
Huh.
But no, we've been having, oh, well, I've been having some really good things happening, for me, really positive stuff. I've
Good.
I've been with, I learnt about Dwayne, the great writer, Dwayne Eva, and, Reba Sartars and all the new friends about 6 months ago. And since then, I decided I really didn't want to miss out. I just felt
Yeah.
like if I let it go, I might be missing something. So I thought, well, it's really not going to cost me anything. And I started singing New You. And then Dwayne and Kelsey contacted me, with their Skype calls. But that was 3 o'clock in the morning. And so that, for my time, that was 3 o'clock in the morning. And that happened a couple of times, and I just couldn't keep up. And then, I'd be asking when's the next call, and then I'd wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'd see I've missed a message from Kelsey who says join me now. So I'd jump on at 7 o'clock in the morning, and of course there'd be no one there. So it took a while, to figure out what was going on, and then I thought it would be a good idea to start a group down here. And of course, then Reba Satars and the Real Guides will bring the people from down under together. And I just thought it might be easier if we make a call that was local time for us. And so that's how we started. And so far, it's been going really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been singing the New You and really noticing that my awareness is becoming a lot stronger, just
Uh-huh.
awareness of everything natural around me, and
Uh-huh.
really been able to appreciate things that we take for granted. Like, I really like my garden, and we can take for granted even the weeds in the garden because they come up naturally. And I've been noticing, all the little bugs and things are coming back into the garden, and the bees are coming back, and the birds like to eat the little grass seeds, on the grass, and just
Uh-huh.
all the simple things that we take for granted because we live so fast and so busy, that our lives, we miss the simple things in life that we can appreciate every day, right in front of us.
Well, someone came on. Hello, DR. Who are you?
It's Chris Burrell here.
Hi,
Oh, hi.
Chris. Olga here.
Ariana
Hi.
here.
Chris, I heard you're from Byron Bay. Is that correct?
I'm actually in Sydney at the moment, but yes, I grew up in the Byron Bay district.
What a beautiful place to grow up.
Yeah, it was hard to take.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, Mount Burrell, which is my surname, is just inland from there through the Nullum State Forest, which you get to on the main road from Mullumbimby.
Oh, okay. So Chris is on the New South Wales coast of Australia, for those who are not sure where Byron Bay is.
It's a bit of an international destination. It's a bit like Big Sur on California, on the Californian coast. Or
Oh.
Oh,
it's got that sort of international reputation.
yeah, it is renowned for its reputation, especially down under.
Yeah, but people from all around the world. In fact, it's got probably a dozen hostels, and young people from all around the world like to drop in at Byron Bay. And of
Yeah,
course, people
absolutely.
who are surfers like to go there as well because there's a number of different surfing beaches, and there's always going to be good waves somewhere. And it happens to be the most easterly point of Australia, and so it receives the first new light um, on the continent of Australia. Australia is the first continent to get the first new light of every day on planet Earth.
Wonderful.
Wow.
So, can you tell us how you came to learn about, Dwayne the Great Rider, Reba Sartars, and all the new friends?
Well, I'm a research fellow, and I research heavily, and sometimes I go on Facebook and download a few of the things that I've come up with, and I think I posted something, and I noticed it's in my email to Henry, a graphic for the organisation that's the umbrella for worldwide educators, and there was a link, so I followed that, and then so I got in and I've listened to part one. There was a little 6-minute preamble by the couple on the beach in California, and I really like what I hear. A lot of what I do is intuitive. So when I'm doing my researching and when I'm finding information, I let my higher self do the discerning and find what I need to find. It's like walking into a library and I get guided to select the information I'm meant to know. And that's what's happened here in a very short amount of time. And so I wrote to the contact details, and Henry responded. This happened today, and he said, "Well," and I had volunteered to start a chapter in Australia if there wasn't anything. There was nothing listed. And he said, well, we've got Olga Curry in Australia. In fact, we've got a Skype session happening at 4 p.m. Brisbane time, which is all of the East Coast time. And I responded. He did say, how did I find it? And that's where I put the graphic that I'd found, and also the post that I had made, which I think caused someone, perhaps it was Olga, I don't know, to put down that image and the link. And here I am, bushy-tailed and bright-eyed.
That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. We started this group, Wonderful Worldwide Educators. We started this group this is our third call. So I felt there was a need for myself and anybody else who was down here to have these calls on a more local time. I was finding it really difficult to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I really wanted to connect with, the new friends and all their experiences and what was happening around the world. So that's absolutely wonderful.
Let me just drive home. We have to. Okay, I've just got my driver's just jumped in the car, and that's why I said I might not. So what I might have to do is just come back on again in a little while. I gave Henry my mobile number. So Olga and anyone else that's in Australia, could you please note? Do you have a copy, Henry? Can you give them a copy of the email?
Yeah, I'll send that to Olga. If Olga, you just put your email address, I can just forward it to you. Yeah, that'll be easiest.
If you forward it to Olga, is that too
Look
much?
forward to. No, that's great. That's fantastic.
And I'm also the 11th star sign. So I have a lot of 11s that circle around me for some reason. But not that I'm so much into that, but people seem to like that for some reason.
Well, I happen to be an 11.
I usually attract other 11s. So this is what I'm saying.
This is really interesting because I had a dream last night about a guy who was asking me what number I was.
Oh, really? Well, it was probably me.
It was very interesting.
So
I didn't know who it was. He was asking me what number I was. And I said in my dream, I don't think that's very important.
No, well, that's a good answer. It's not. And once you get into the seven different areas of being, it puts it all in perspective. Actually, I take it to 12 different areas of being, but I'm sure that'll become apparent later. But anyway, together we're 22, and apparently that opens up a global perspective. I am a certified parenting educator, and I'm also an educator in other areas. But I've swung, and I've set the intention to really go deeply into letting all aspects of my higher self take the lead. So if you look at that email, you'll see a few things that I've been working on, and I very much look forward to continuing the dialogue with you. But I'm just going to ring off now because it's just going to be too noisy here now. And if I can catch you before 5 o'clock when I get home, I will. Otherwise, you've got my phone number and my email address, and so we can take it from there. I apologise for having to log out again so quickly.
Not at all. Thank you so much for catching up with us. And you found the wonderful Worldwide Educators.
Yep, just set the intention. Look what happens. I'm not ever surprised by this anymore. It's just part of the journey of life, which is a journey of learning and living. And if you're learning anything, it's learning how to love more fully. So without any further ado, I'll log off. Ciao and namaste.
Okay, so we have Christopher from Australia. Okay, and yeah, Olga, if you send me your email address, I can forward you the email he sent. He had a bunch of links with the things he's been involved with and some other videos and things you might be interested in. And I put his phone number in the chat here, but it's also in the email. Yeah, so Debra, did you want to introduce yourself? Yeah, it's your first time on the call here, and you're also down under there in Australia.
Hello, my name's Debbie. I live in Brisbane, Australia. I've read many of Dwayne the Great Writer's books through downloading them. I'm still learning. I'm not very good at talking publicly. I get tongue-tied sometimes. So sometimes I just like to sit in the background and see, what's going on, and yeah.
Oh, well, every life sees everything, whether it's so-called public or not. There's only a few of us here, so do you want to share any experiences you've had, just recently becoming more aware, anything that stands out of your experiences that you'd like to share would be cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I had any real side experiences, but I can talk about a dream I had maybe 3 months ago or more, where I was in a hotel room and overlooking the hotel room. Well, I looked out the window of the room and there was a big cruise liner sitting upside down, looking rather crumpled, with like a muddy sort of film over it, a film like a dirt, like dried dirt. And in another paddock to the left of it was a statue of, like, Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary in the Catholic religion. But it was a very tall, slim statue of her, the Mother Mary, and she had her palms out open, and there's a graveyard. She was looking down upon the graveyard in this paddock. And there might have been a beam of light coming down upon her, but I didn't think it was like an epiphany or anything. I thought, I don't know how to explain how I felt about it, but I thought it was a bit deceptive. Something about it. There's some kind of deception there. And that's about all I can remember of that dream. I don't know if that was telling me something, but
Yeah,
I don't know if you're able to help me analyze that at all. But
yeah, that's pretty cool. You can see a lot from these. You can get a lot of views. What I see is there's like the cruise ship is like the public consciousness, and it's like full steam ahead, cruising just driving itself into the ground, and it's covered in dirt and it's upside down. It's just like a mess. And then Mother Mary is like, however you view her, but she's just looking down on the graveyard, and that's kind of the way that it's like the cruise ship, it's the public consciousness is just going into a graveyard, and also these religious things, they can that can be what they want, you know, the people or the beings controlling the religions and the other levels on the real side. They just want people to die and keep reincarnating and keep controlling them. So it's a big view. A lot, like, you can, you know, you're being shown a lot of what's like the real side of the earth here. And it's these views are a good way to motivate us to do something, to create a benefit, because that's what is needed is a real purpose and a real adventure here. You know, I was telling Kelsey today that a lot of what we talk about is becoming more and more widely accepted here on the planet. You know, like everybody talks about reincarnation and past lives with healings and regressions and stuff, and they're talking about how the emotions and the mind affect the physical body, and like these things are becoming more and more accepted. And even, you know, a lot of the other stuff we talk about, the chemtrails, the HAARP, more people know about this. And more people know about how things like Greta Thunberg is just, you know, she's funded by Bill Gates, which is the Illuminati, the cabal, and this whole climate change, climate crisis it's just a big hoax to get people afraid so that they'll agree to smart cities and 5G and more control. And yeah, so that's where the world's going, but what we're doing, we're just simply making sense of things with the all-natural environment, and we have a real purpose for people to become more aware and do something while they're here on the planet. So yeah, you're seeing where the agreement is going right now, and then the comparison is what we can do here, and we have really cool projects that we're doing and for people to get involved with and have a real purpose. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.